all you real estate enthusiasts. Welcome to Real Estate 101. Real Estate 101 is a series where I walk you through everything you need to know about buying a home, from the dream to the reality and right through to post-possession. I'm Val, and I'm a realtor with Royal LePage Solutions with 15 years of experience. I'm super passionate about real estate and very excited to talk to you today about what to look for in a home. When you're looking for a home, it's easy to let your dreams run wild. So the first step in what to look for when you're looking for a home is determining your budget and staying within it. I've already done series on financing and how to purchase a home, so if you want to cross-reference there, I'm going to assume for the moment that you know your budget and you're going to work within it. So the next step is, where do you want to live? So when looking for a home, of course, it's the old adage of location, location, location. And many times I still have to review this with buyers as they get caught up in the glossy, very sexy house that's ready to be bought and it's backing onto a highway. So that's not necessarily the best location and certainly not the best long-term investment. So when looking for your location, think about where you want to be for the next 5 or 10 years, depending on what if this is your forever home or if this is just your launching pad until you have a bigger dream. It's very important that you understand your needs, your wants, the difference between the two, and the absolute deal breakers. For example, for me, personally, I don't like corner lots. I don't want to shovel all the way around the corner. I don't want to mow that little extra hill where all the dogs pee and poop. But hey, you may have an RV or you may have an extra vehicle that you want to have that side street parking, and a corner lot may be an important need for you. But for me, it's a deal breaker. So determine what it is that you want to use the property for, what your needs are going to be for the next 5 years, and understand what you're willing to give up, what you absolutely must have, and what would be a bonus if it comes with this particular property.
So this is a smaller yard. There's no pool and spa. That kind of stinks.
Some of the big needs that people have are three bedrooms upstairs. That's one thing that they want. They're planning to have a family or they're going to have roommates and they all want to be on one floor. Often, though, some of those properties get missed because the third and fourth bedroom are in the basement. But the basement may be a walkout. So you have to determine, is it the number of bedrooms you have, or is it where the bedrooms are located within the property? Some people really want to be near transit. And then I showed them something near transit, and whoa, it's too close to transit. They want to be accessible to transit, but they don't want to hear the LRT line or have a bus stop at their front door. You have to determine what your comfort level is within the location and within your needs and wants. When we're talking about some of the nice to have things that'll come along, sometimes they've recently replaced the floor. That's a really nice thing to have. Or do you want to pay less and pick your own flooring? So those are some of the wants and wishes that sometimes it'll be there and sometimes it won't. And we hope buyers are going to be open to both possibilities. Pay a little bit more and get the flooring already done, or you're paying a little bit less and you maybe are hiring or doing it yourself to replace the flooring. So really understand your expectations with each of those categories, your needs, your wants, and your absolute deal breakers, because that will save a lot of time when buying a home. Ultimately, real estate is not about picking the house, it's more of a process of elimination. So before we even get started, if you can eliminate the things that you absolutely will not tolerate and also determine what absolutely must be included, that will certainly help you in your hunt. And then once we do that, the next step is really fun. We get to go into the database and we get to set up all the criteria and see what's going to hit home. All the listings on Realtor.ca are entered by licensed realtors across all the provinces in Canada. When we go into our database, it's important that we get the data as accurate as we can so it comes up in your search. And it's important to understand how the data works so you can play the database game and find exactly what you're looking for. Because let's face it, with hundreds of thousands of properties across Canada, Realtor.ca can be a little daunting. So when we delve in here, when we go into residential, we can pick, do we want an apartment? Do we want a detached home, a duplex, recreational, row house, or townhouse, or semi-detached? We can also decide if we want a condo, and if we want to include a condo, we have bare land or conventional. Bare land, you're actually getting some land with your condo, so those aren't likely going to be apartment buildings. Those are going to be townhouses or even detached homes. And of course, a conventional condo is you own the little block up in the sky. So let's just go in and pick some properties, and then we'll well, actually, we also have to we have to put in where we want to look. We're going to say Calgary, keep it simple. And then we can pick, they have subdivision, but in Calgary, we call our subdivisions communities. So we can pick a particular community, or we can go in, we can pick a whole whack of communities. We want to grab some. Why don't we go with, actually, why don't we do Varsity? Varsity has a good selection of all kinds of properties, from inexpensive walk-up condos to townhouses to detached to, if you want to back onto the Silver Springs golf course and spend $3 million, I can sell you something in Varsity. So let's pick Varsity as our key community here. So as you can see down here at the bottom, there's 76 matches. That's because I didn't put any criteria. I didn't actually put in price range, square footage. So the other important thing to know when you're on Realtor.ca, in particular in the province of Alberta, the above grade square footage is what's counted in the square footage. So if it seems like some of the houses are small because they're only 1,000 square feet, 1,500 square feet, it's because it's not counting the basement. So you have an option here for your living area, and it's already been defaulted to square feet. Even though we're metric, we seem to most prefer working in square feet. So I'm going to put in 1,000 square feet. But if I put in just 1,000, it's literally only going to give me searches that have come back with 1,000 square feet exactly. So I actually want to put in the plus sign. And now I'm down to 49 matches. Most people, we just came out of winter, they're going to want a garage, so we'll add in garage, and now we're down to 30 matches. Now, this is the thing that is the big deciding factor on what's going to be available: price. Let me see, why don't we do 700,000 or less? Yep, it's probably over budget if you're a first-time buyer, but let's just narrow down our search. Sure enough, under 700,000 in Varsity, we have 14 matches. And so it brings up the agent view for me. So I'm actually looking at it line by line. But I'm going to switch it over to, let's do a CMA client, which is going to give me a snapshot of each one. So what I can do eventually is set up that when we've determined the criteria and you've determined what it is that you want, I can set it up in this database, and within 15 minutes of any listings coming on the market, you will be emailed and notified that there's a new listing on the market. When we're in a super hot market like we are right now, where it's definitely a seller's market and we're seeing multiple offers, you definitely want to be set up on auto notification, because as soon as that listing comes out on day 0, you need to be on the doorstep if that's a house that meets your criteria and you're ready to make your purchase. So under 700,000 in Varsity with a garage, we came up with 14 for your short list, and they range in price from $699. You have $679. We can go all the way down. Obviously, there's a lot in the 600s in Varsity right now. In the 500s, you're getting into some of the fancier townhouses. And if we keep scrolling down, oh, there's some in the 300s too. So the cheapest home that you can get right now in Varsity is $349,900. It is a single car garage, and it will give you 1,420 square feet, plus of course a condo fee of $410. So that is one way we can do a very general search. Going back to our main page of criteria, the other thing is bedrooms above grade. So a lot of people think they need 3 bedrooms, and sometimes they're missing out, because what is a legal bedroom for us that we have to report is if it has a window, a door, and a closet. That's what we count as a bedroom. So one of the things that you may want to consider, instead of having 3 bedrooms above grade, when you know you actually need 2 plus an office, is in your field here, you can put 2 plus. Because then it'll come up with anything that is a 3 bedroom or more, but it'll also come up with anything that's 2 plus a den. Bathrooms, to me, if it has a basement, especially if you're looking at a townhouse or a house, I'm not too worried about how many bathrooms, because you can actually add a bathroom down the road if you like. And then if you look down our database even more, you can ask for fireplaces, how many common walls. You can even search by possession. You can actually, and there's not even near the amount of options here that are on this screen because I do keep it a little bit abbreviated so that I get the maximum amount of hits in my search criteria. But you can specify if you want single level living. You can specify type of structure, if you want a bungalow, bi-level, a 2-story, a 4-level split. You can also specify if you want a walkout bungalow, in-suite laundry. That's a huge need for everybody, and quite frankly, it is quite nice, and it does help with the value of the condo if you have in-suite laundry. So understanding how the database works will certainly maximize how you find properties in your email search as well as on Realtor.ca, and understanding how the database works ultimately is going to save how many times you're going up to the door to look at a property. We do want to maximize our time in and out of properties, so looking at things that aren't actually fitting the criteria starts here on the computer. So I used a very specific example with a very specific community when I was looking through the database. Sometimes I get buyers that still don't know which community, or they're willing to consider a property that's one of maybe 3 communities, or sometimes even one quadrant of the city. That's fine too, because sometimes we are looking for a very specific property, especially if you want a suite in the basement, or you're looking for a triple car garage, or you're just trying to be within a certain radius of the in-laws but not too close. So maybe they live in Cranston, so you'll consider Mahogany or Auburn Bay, but you might want to go over to Seton. So all of these factors we take into account when we're looking for a property for you. The most important thing is when you're looking for a property is that you have an open mind and a clear idea of what it is that you actually need, and then we'll go from there. Thank you for tuning into this episode of Real Estate 101, What to Look For When Buying Your Home. I hope I was able to fine-tune your search and make you feel confident in selecting properties to view. If you like this video, please hit the like button. And if you'd like to see more of my Real Estate 101 series or other videos that I release weekly, please hit the subscribe button. Thanks so much for watching, and I look forward to seeing you again in the next video.